it's sad. The thing is that it is what it is. I want women to actually admit it so we can actually fix this stuff, because as long as they deny it, it won't get fixed. I mean, the stats are there. You can't have black boys at the bottom of every category. I mean, every category. Come on. In other words, it's either the fathers or it's the mothers. Who's raising the children?
But who's not raising them, BTS? That's
It does,
equally important.
no, it's not. It's not equally important.
It is important. The absenteeism of your father does matter to
It
the
does. It does
outcome of
matter.
a young man.
It does matter. I have children. Who's in the household matters like 90%. The other 10% who's not in the house.
I don't know. I don't have kids, so I can't intelligently,
I
say
got
whether or not.
grandchildren. I have them going through this crap. Okay, I got
Yeah.
grandchildren. The difference between my oldest and my two youngest is who's in the household. He's in the household with me, you know, half the time, and he's on a different track than the other two,
Mm,
because uh, I'm exerting a different kind of masculine energy.
mm-hmm.
And the women were, when he was like 3, they would say, "You're being too harsh. Get out of my face and go someplace else and let me deal with this." And he
Yeah.
would spot and he would cry and all this kind of stuff. And now, and he said something to me that I didn't never thought he would say to me, like a month ago. "Grandpa, I love you." So get out
Oh,
of here. You're kidding.
yeah.
He meant it, because
Yeah.
now he realized all the stuff I was actually making him do is actually worth something,
And
because the women
that's
were trying to baby him.
I think that's why it's important, is like you were talking about. Like, I mean, I do think that black women have a tendency to coddle their sons. My mother, is it's an interesting dynamic. I'll say that,
Hmm.
with my very adult brothers,
Hmm.
who live in the house that I bought her, and they still
Hmm.
live there, and
Hmm.
they're 40 in their 40s,
And
right?
she
So,
and what
yeah.
okay, growing up, what did she tell you?
Oh yeah, you got to get it. You got to go out there, you got to get your education. I was working when I was 14. Like, she was serious about me kind of, providing for myself, but not so much my brother. So,
Mhm.
I definitely think black women have a tendency to coddle their sons. I just always am leery of us saying that.
Because I'm gonna be blunt. Can I be blunt for a minute? You're not gonna like this. Can I be blunt for a
Yes,
minute? The
sure.
underlying factor is black women think black men aren't worth shit. You can't depend on them.
Disagree. But
Why?
I don't think that black women holistically believe that. I think what's happened is you see a lot of examples where women have probably invested lots in men, and those
Hmm.
investments have not paid off. And
Hmm.
so,
So
and
the
I
con-
do think a
the, con-
lot of that is because of
the,
who the men that they choose, but
the,
still,
conclu-
right?
the conclusion is that black men aren't worth what?
I don't think that's a blanket conclusion. I'll let the other women on the panel, but
Uh,
I
uh,
don't agree that that's a blanket
I know you don't
conclusion.
agree, but the thing is, so in other words, if black women didn't believe that, which white women don't believe that about their men.
Well, that's a very different dynamic, though,
I know.
BBS.
I know
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, it is a different dynamic, isn't it? Right? They don't believe it about their men, right? So if they don't believe about their men, they don't believe it about their boys. They don't tell their little girls
Mm,
actually, you need to go get go get your own bag, right?
yeah.
They tell the girls the exact opposite. Why?
Yeah.
Because
You're right.
they believe that their men are worthy and capable of taking care of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why did your mother tell you to go get your own
Yeah,
instead of
because
finding a
yeah,
man?
she definitely said that, you're gonna have to take care of yourself, yeah. I mean, my mother had some strong opinions about black men, definitely.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, and the thing is, back then the women were honest about it, but now things are so public and in the open, and we have social media. Black women said, "You know what? I kind of believe this, I kind of feel this, but I can't say it out loud because it sounds bad, and it's a bad reflection on me because who's raising the men, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm, what I'm
That's a good
saying,
way to put it.
I had to face this. I had to face this. The way black women look at me, the way my significant others look at me, right? They look
Hmm.
at you like, yeah, you know what? Um, he might be capable, but I can't really trust him. So,
But
you
can
know,
we say, but instead of, I don't think that black women think black men aren't shit. I think black women expect. I
Black
hate
men not to be.
No, I think that they expect the worst sometimes. Like, and
Yeah,
I can admit that. I can admit that if
right.
a man is if a man does something not living up to your expectation, a lot of black women aren't surprised. Does that make sense? Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of like, okay,
Uh-huh. I
yeah, I
knew
can
it.
admit that.
I
Yeah,
knew it. I knew. I said.
yeah,
I said underneath. I'm not talking about
mhm,
consciously. Underneath. I expect
yeah,
him to fail me,
right,
and I had to protect myself because he's going to fail me.
right. You're
It's
right
good.
about that.
It's good.
That's real.
It's good right now.
Hmm.
But my mama been telling me, my grandma been telling me that you can't trust them because they're going to fail you in the end.
Mm, that's real. And I'm just sitting here thinking about that. And you're right. I mean, I think that's what it is. I don't think that, we consciously think that black men aren't shit, but I think that there is that subconscious piece of
Yeah.
if he fails me, I'm going to be prepared for the failure and I'm not going to be surprised.
Yeah. That's I
Yeah.
use very strong terms for a reason. I'm blunt. In other
Mhm.
words, I'm gonna shock you out of it because you're not gonna admit it unless I shock you out of it. Because it's been the underlying. That's what I mean by the underlying. I could actually say black women have underlying contempt for their men. And
Is contempt the right word or low expectations?
contempt is the right word. Yeah,
I don't think
contempt.
contempt is the right word.
Why not?
Because like contempt like is like disregard, right? It's like
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
basically
yeah, yeah.
consider that person valueless. And I don't think that. I think there is a limited expectation
Valueless in what aspect?
and the
Ability
ability to
to
provide for you,
provide for
protect
you.
you,
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
faithful to you. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
but I don't think I don't think contempt is the right word.
That's why
So
it's low key. Yeah, it's low key contempt.
yeah.
You see it all the time. I see it all the time.
I just think that words matter, VGS. Like
I
that's why I
do.
was harping on the golden because words do matter
Yeah, they
and
do.
they can change the
They do.
dynamic.
They
Because
do.
contempt is like disgust. You know what I mean? Like we're not disgusted by black men. I think sometimes we just feel like we have low expectations
How
sometimes.
come black women are actually famous for RBF in the community? Rest in bitch face. Until you prove yourself that you're worthy to talk to me.
Well, I don't think that actually happens. I think men
Yes, it
exaggerate
does.
that like
No,
heck.
we
Like men
come on,
exaggerate
come
that and act
on,
like we just walk around
come
scowling at
come
people.
on, come on. No, you don't. No, you don't. Not scowling, but basically, every there's a different experience when a white woman approaches than a black one does.
Oh, so you know what, BGS? No, you're not about to pull that with
Yeah,
this
it is.
whole when you
It
say
is.
hi to a white woman, she says hello, but when you
She
say
does.
hi to a black woman, she's like, "What you want, nigga?" Like you're
Yeah,
not about to pull that because that
basically,
is not
basically,
real.
it's real. It's real.
No, no,
It
no.
is real.
Where are the other ladies on the panel? I know that is
Yeah,
not
it's
real.
in fact, in fact, the best time some women have, black women have at a club is how many men they actually rejected. They will tell stories. Oh, you know what that nigga said to me? And
Oh
he
my
thought he was going to
god.
approach me, and guess what I did? He sent me a drink. I sent that motherfucker back.
But see, you know why I know that's not true? Because look at the high rate of promiscuity and all this other stuff. Somebody's getting it in, clearly, right?
Uh,
So they're not like rejecting every man that approaches them. So I that's why I don't believe that that's true.
it's not every man. It's not every man. The ones that you like, no, of course. The ones that you like, you're gonna smile and grin and all that kind of. That's how we know the high sign, right? If a black woman actually smiles at you, like, oh my God, she's smiling at me. Okay, let me go talk to her.
Yes, no,
Yeah, I'm
no.
Let
serious.
me let me cut in here for a
Okay.
sec. Care, how is customer service for you? How is it when you go to the grocery store and different places and you have a black woman to greet you and do all the things they need to do? Do you have that good experience, or
Not
you find
typically.
sometimes you don't?
Yeah. No, I typically I it's a 50-50, right? Sometimes you will definitely have some bad experience with black women. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
I was asking that because just think about out in the whatever street world, however you want to say it, and a guy like, hey, how you doing today? What's the chances of that guy actually getting that what do you call it, resting bitch face. You don't think it's high. You don't think it's a high number that he's going to get that. She's not approachable.
I think I don't think if you say hi to a woman that you're gonna typically get a negative response. I think now will you approach some women who just naturally are, not the most friendly or warm people, then I'm sure those women you're probably not going to be like, hey, how are you doing to, right? I think you're probably going to continue to move on. But I think women who, black men say hello to, I think that we respond in kind. I don't think that we're walking around here just like ignoring people or anything of that. I don't see that.
Oh,
You
really?
know, I'm gonna put this out there. There was when I first started with YouTube and modding and everything for people and listening to the content.
Hmm.
Sometimes some of the guys would say they were going to wear a wire, or not a wire, a camera,
Hmm.
and record how women are when they approach them. And I always encourage the content creator, please do that. I want to see that. And no one has done it yet. So
Hmm.
I'm going to start me a GoFundMe to get whatever equipment. As soon as I find out, I'm going to ask you guys to support me. And I'm going to go out there in the street and I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
Since you don't believe it, I'm going to have to show you.
Yeah. Normally,
I want to
normally,
see that.
normally for black guys, you can tell when a woman's kind of sexually attracted to you because she will remove the RBF. She actually perk up and smile at you.
Isn't that regional too, though? I guess because I'm from the South and I now live on the Pacific Northwest mostly, like, and there are not a whole lot of black people over here anyway.
Mhm. Oh
But in
yeah.
the South, like, people are naturally
Yeah.
friendlier, like, we tend
Yeah.
to engage
Yeah.
more. So
Uh-huh.
I wonder if that's regional too, and it's
It
not
is regional.
necessarily racial. You know what I mean? Like, it's not necessarily black women. It may just be in New York or New Jersey. People just
Mhm.
naturally aren't as friendly,
The black ones aren't. Yeah.